want to talk to you about the importance of trying different things while you're younger. A lot of people advise against this, but I just know from personal experience, it's worked out great for me. Curiosity has allowed me to be successful, and I want you to understand what I mean by that. When I was younger, I tried everything that I found interesting. And over time, what happens is you start realizing that if I say yes to this is going to be the outcome. If I say no to that, that's going to be just fine. You don't know the answers until you try a bunch of different things. You're not going to know to say yes to that and no to that over there if you haven't tried a bunch of things throughout your life anyway. If you've tried a bunch of things and people make you an offer and your inexperienced self would have thought the grass is greener, you know from experience that that's not going to produce the outcome that you want. Where I got started was I thought I was going to be a professor. And so I went to Auburn, I did my undergrad, I went to Pepperdine, did my grad school, and then while I was doing my PhD, I was a professor for a while at Lipscomb University. I didn't like the university setting as much. I tried the high school. I thought high school was worse. Then I went into film production because when I was 19, I got to be on Dawson's Creek. I got to be on Tim Burton's Big Fish. I remembered how great of a time I had on film sets. I'd been on a theater scholarship. So then I did film production for a while. And I learned pretty quick that if I was going to do film production, I would be on the road all the time. And if I was going to have a wife and kids someday, that wasn't going to be a very great profession. Having invested so much time into academia, it was very humbling for me to start all over again and go into film production. When I realized that wasn't panning out the way I thought it was, I started all over again. My dad got sick. We had a Black Angus cattle farm. We had a security guard company. I moved home. I ran that for 5 years. And on the side, I'd pitched this idea to a guy. He had married my first cousin. He was an IT cybersecurity guy. I would get a software from NASA out of Huntsville, Alabama, and we would go to each city hall and pitch us overseeing their cybersecurity with this software. And I was gonna go to every single city hall in Alabama and talk to him about it. But right when we were about to launch, he went through a divorce and that ended. Around that time, the firm that had been managing my family's money for 30 years, we used them instead of a bank. They had offered me a job because I had opened up a Roth IRA when I was 18 years old and contributed to it each year. And I would call in and ask questions. So they offered me a job. I said no, I had my mind on these things. They came back with a second offer with a little bit of a sweeter deal. I still said no. But then when they came with the third offer, I liked what they had to say and I went for it, and I've been with them ever since. I'm about to enter my 7th year now. My point is, I've tried a lot of different things, but all it takes is for one thing to stick. See, I've written some books that have been published and I've written some screenplays that have won awards, and we just wrapped on our first feature film. But the one thing that has really stuck has been the firm and then the filmmaking on the side.